Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rosemary Adiola Cookingham, and today we are going to be working on a beautiful dark-skinned model. Her name is Precious. Join me as we beat this face to perfection. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button below and turn on your notification button so that you don't ever miss a video. Thank you very much for stopping by my channel. So here we have Precious with a clean face. She's got really beautiful skin. There's hardly any blemish except a few hyperpigmentation here and there. And then we went ahead to clean the face, and before we did that, I groomed her brows using a blade and a brow wand. I removed all the excess hair under the arch of our brows. I did that on the right and on the left brow, and afterwards I went ahead to start my prepping process. Now for the prepping process, the first thing I did was to clean the face. The excess hair that must have fallen off from the brows, I cleaned that using micellar water. The micellar water I used here is from Bioderma. It's a very deep cleaning micellar water and it doesn't leave an oily finish. After that, I started my skin prep using a spray. I'm going to put the link, the description of all the products I used for this process in the description box. I used a refreshing spray, and after that I used a serum, snail mucin serum on the skin just to introduce hydration, and afterwards I went ahead to moisturize. This is Embryolisse moisturizer, and I applied it on her face using a brush from Vicabel brushes. That's a Nigerian brand. After I used the brush to place it everywhere, I used my hand to massage the product into the skin, and I just rubbed it everywhere. It's very essential that you massage your products in. I went in with another deep moisturizer from Bobbi Brown, and I massaged it also into the skin, and afterwards, before I went into priming, I ensured that I used the fan to dry it down. To lock in my moisture, I went ahead to use the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I spread it around her face using the brush that I used to spread in my moisturizer and used my hand to push it in. Afterwards, I used the beauty blender also to press it into the skin to ensure that there are no lumps. After then, I used the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Glow Serum to just bring out the glow again that the primer must have dulled in, and I used a primer for under the eyes. So this is supposed to help moisturize very richly the eyes. It's not a primer, I mean, it's actually a moisturizer for under the eyes. And this is the finished work of my priming. I went ahead to go in with the foundation. The foundation I used is from Nars Cosmetics. I used a mixture of New Caledonia and Namibia, so I didn't have a shade completely, and that's how you can actually save money even as a makeup artist, to know how to properly mix in your product. After placing the foundation with the brush, I went ahead to blend it in with the beauty blender. So somebody was asking me the other day how I use my foundation process. I always place with the brush and then I blend in with the beauty blender. Can you see how stunning the foundation finish is? And it blends beautifully with her skin. I went ahead to use to place in my my concealer using a brush from I'm going to place in the description of all the brushes that I used for this process. This brush is actually from Y Glam Beauty. It's the collection from their latest brush set. Before blending, I decided to spray the skin with a setting spray and then I fanned it. I don't know if you noticed that before I continued blending with my beauty blender. So the first thing you do is to blend the edges of the concealer. If you can see from this process, I was blending the edges from where the concealer touched the foundation on the skin. That's where you really want to first of all blend in to ensure that you cannot see any harsh lines. After blending that in, just ensure that you do a good job in blending in before you blend the center. Now, I'm not done highlighting, but I'm going ahead now to contour the perimeters of her face. I contoured using Black Opal foundation in Ebony Brown, I think. It's a cream foundation from Black Opal. It's beautiful for contouring because it's oil based and it easily blends into the skin. It's not too dry and it works well with other products when you blend it together on the skin. I contoured the sides of her nose as well and blended it down, the chin, the perimeters of our forehead. And after placing with the brush, I'm also going to go ahead now to blend with the brush. But before I went ahead to blend, I decided to place in a lighter concealer. My concealer is from Too Faced Cosmetics, and then the cream blushes are from e.l.f. I'm going to put all the shades that I used in the description box. So I also placed all of that. I did all the placements for the contour and for the blush. It's best when you use your brush to just place your brush because it gives you, you're able to properly target where you want your product to get to. So if you go ahead and use the beauty blender at first, it might not, your placement might be off. So when you use your brush, first of all, it helps you to properly place your product. And then when you're done with placement, you now go ahead to blend with your beauty blender. So after I placed everything with the brush, I went ahead and blended with using the other side of my beauty blender now to blend the center of the eyes, and then I placed the setting powder. So what I do with my setting powder is I always place with the brush. So most of my processes, as you can see, I would always use a brush before I use a sponge. So what the brush does for me is I don't like an overly poweredly bright under eye. That's just how my work is. Whatever works for you, you can do. So I use the brush first of all to place in the setting powder to set the under eye, and then I push it in using the beauty blender, the beauty sponge. Now you can also use a beauty blender for this process. It doesn't have to be a sponge. So what that does is it doesn't put too much power on the sponge to make that under eye excessively bright. Now for this setting, I don't know if you saw, I showed you earlier, I used two shades of setting powder from Mercier. I used their honey shade and the other one for dark skinned shade. I mixed it together and I used it to set under the eye. And then for the under the contour, I actually used the darker powder to set under the contour just to give that part of the face a bit of definition. And afterwards, I went ahead to powder the entire face using a Fenty powder. The Fenty powder is 450. Yeah, the shade is in 450. I contoured the rest of her face also using a Fenty powder. Fenty powder in 480 is actually a darker shade than her normal skin tone. I also used that same powder to contour the bridge of her nose, and then I blended it in. I fast forwarded this video so that you guys can see as much as possible the process, but of course I couldn't show everything. After contouring the bridge of her nose, I decided to use the setting powder also to cut in on that contour to give it a well shaped, narrow line looking nose. I applied my blush. So I applied my blush using the brush. Most times that's a powder brush. And I went ahead to spray the face and then baked the under eye using a setting powder, getting it ready for the eyeshadow process. So I baked the face at that time because I know that I'm going to apply, like I said earlier in the intro video, that we're doing pigment, and you know that there are definitely going to be fall-offs when you use pigment. So that was the baking also serves as a way of you helping to safeguard everything that you've done on your face. So that powder holds up your fallout from your eyeshadow work, and then when you're done you can just dust it off. It makes it very easy for you to dust off the excesses from your eyeshadow. So I have applied the primer here and I'm already applying the eyeshadow. So this burnt orange color, brownish burnt orange color, is from Fenty Beauty. It's a Ghanaian eyeshadow brand. It's serving as my base color for my transition color on the eyes. So I'm putting it in the outer V of the eye and into the crease area of the eye, and I'm just blending it in before I go in with other colors. Now I am putting a darker color in the outer V of the eye, and I'm just spreading that into the crease. I did that on the other eye as well. Blend it in, marry the dark color with the orange color. Just make sure that you're properly blending. And then I applied the eyeshadow. For some reason I lost the video for the eyeshadow placement here, but that's not really the color I'm looking to achieve. I applied the glue, and then I went ahead to apply this very bright blue pigment from Luster Pigments. Is a pigment from Zenabazis. I also paired it with another one from Y Glam Cosmetics. I can't remember the name of that one now. I'm going to put everything in the description box. After applying the eyeshadow, the pigment I dusted everything off. I did a bit of smoky under the eye as well. And that was it for the eyes before I placed the eyeliner. And then for the eyes, for the brow I start from defining the brow from the lower brow line. So, and I used a darker pencil. If you can see, that pencil is quite dark. It's almost black. You define from the lower line. You create the line from the lower line of the brow before you create the upper line, and then you marry it together at the tail of the brow. You join it in, and then you fill in the rest of the brows. Drawing the brows takes a lot of concentration and a very, very steady hands, and you need a lot of patience. Even as a makeup artist, even though this video is fast forwarded, you can see that it takes time to achieve good brows. So you might want to give yourself time and a lot of practice if you want to master the art of brow defining, brow grooming, brow filling. It takes time. So you just continue to shade. When I teach, I tell people you use short strokes. Don't just draw lines. Use short strokes. They are easier to manage and easier to control as you work when you use short strokes. So this is basically everything I did on the brow. And as you draw, as you shade, you also use your wand to keep your brows in place and to make everything look nice. Here I did the eyeliner. I used a gel liner from Inglot Cosmetics, and I picked it with the tail of a very slim brush and just placed it in the waterline. I also like to line the upper part of the eyes. That's where your lashes actually come out from. So that way you are able to create a perfect ring. So you can't really see any brown skin when you create the eyeliner. So before I did the lashes, I went ahead to comb the lashes, natural lash, using mascara. That helps you properly marry your false lashes with your natural lashes, because the mascara is already dark, and then it also helps you, from all the powder, the foundation, the lashes would have taken all of those in. So using your mascara, it will help you darken the lash, and then by the time you place in your false lashes, you are able to marry everything together. At this point, we're already doing the lip. I lined the lip with a dark gel. I think here I actually used a brow gel. You can use a pencil, you can use a liquid lip stain, whatever really works for you, as long as you get the results that you are hoping to get. So this helps me structure the lip, helps me, put a gauge as to where I want my product to get to and where I don't want it to get to. That's basically what lining the lips does for you. And you can also use it to reshape your lip. If somebody has a shape that you don't really like, lining can help you reshape the lip and give it a different kind of look. I went ahead to use a lighter brown on the liner that I already created. This is actually a lip stain from Beauty Revolution. I used that on the brown. I blended it in so that this is softer than the color that I actually used to line. My mother was feeling herself here. Precious, she's such a beauty. And then I went ahead to put the color that I wanted in the center of the lip, which is like a very soft bubblegum pink. This lip stain is from Aga and Esther. It's also a Nigerian brand. I love lip brands from Nigeria. Like, we know what we want and we do it right. Honestly, Nigerian brands are really trying when it comes to lip products. This lip palette, I was using the brown from it, is from iMagic. I think iMagic is a Dubai brand. I'm not sure the owners of iMagic, but I know it's not a Nigerian brand, but it's beautiful. So when I was done with my lip, I perfected under the eyes and the highlighted areas of the face generally using the powder from Charlotte Tilbury, and I set the skin using the Charlotte Tilbury setting powder before going ahead to apply my lip gloss. At this point, the look was done and the finished look was looking banging. Please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button. Don't forget to click on the notification button. Like this video. Help me, support me. I really love you. I'm going to be posting more content that are more targeted towards placement of products, and I believe that you're going to have a swell time on this page. At the end of the day, this is me highlighting, and the look was looking really banging. Please subscribe, hit the notification button, like this video, and help me to share it as much as you can. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.